Very warm welcome, students. Very good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good late night, but mainly good evening. Hello, Anushka, nice to see you. Abhay, nice to see you. I think Harichandana is there today and Vivan is joining in. So, let's, Anushka, you had a doubt about relay something. Let me check. If I want to relay for some other aircraft, then I'll directly say who relay for aircraft message. Or who request to relay message, then I'll approve it. So let's say that Abhay is taking a call and Abhay is saying, making a call to some control, Mumbai control, Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Charlie, and is giving some call, but is not getting a response from Mumbai. So that's when you realize that you have to relay his call to Mumbai ATC. So Mumbai control, Victor Tango Alpha November Bravo, relaying for Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Charlie, and then the call. Whatever call he took. Now the relay call, remember in the exam, there will be a live traffic simulation, an actual person you will hear on the radio in the exam who would pretend that they are the pilots flying for whom you have to relay. So you have to hear their call carefully. Okay. So you'll have two people to speak to then. You'll have ATC to speak to, and then you'll have that aircraft also to speak to.
So first, when they will contact us to relay the message, we will give the readback to them also, and after then we will contact to ATC, get a readback from them, and then give it to aircraft.
Ideally, it's supposed to be like that. Ideally, but here we would just simply relay. We won't have to give a read back. We will only give a read back if they are making a call to us. But here their call was going to control. It was not going to us. See, we are offering to relay. They are not asking us to relay. So whenever you feel there is a need for a read back, then you give a read back. Don't think twice. So let's say, um, how do we simulate this situation? Um, Adesh, very warm welcome. Vivan, very warm welcome. Hari Chandana, can you hear me? Let's just do a replay check, students. पता तो चले हम क्या बोल रहे हैं सुनाई दे रहा है कि नहीं. Okay. Victor Tango. Hari Chandana, I forgot your call sign. Can you remind me? Okay. Vivan, how do you read?
Radio 5.
Hmm. आदेश सुन रहे हो ना?
हम सर.
ठीक है. So let's assume that you are listening to a call and that is my call. Okay. And that call is like this. Mumbai Control, Air India 123, over Alpha, Gudum next, flight level 310, Quebec 12, aircraft unable RVSM due equipment, request descend to flight level 270. Now this is the call. And in the question, the moment your question changes, they say help relay. And then you hear this. You are the student, there'll be some ATC you cannot see, and then you hear this call. So this call that you hear is what you have to relay. Okay. So that is the point. So Anushka, can you try and relay this call to Mumbai Control?
Mumbai Control, Victor Tango Alpha November Bravo, relaying for Air India 123, over Alpha, Gurung next, flight level 310, Quebec 12, aircraft unable RVSM due equipment, request descent to flight level 270.
Perfect. That is what we have understood to expect. Then look at the reply. Now you'll have to relay back. Okay, continue. So now I'm the ATC, not the traffic. I'm now ATC. I fly 123 Mumbai control. Hmm. So here also we have to be careful what ADC says, whether they are taking our call sign, whether taking their call sign. Accordingly, we have to reply. They might acknowledge and they might give us a message to send back to them. So if that happens, then just focus on the acknowledgement, listen to the message, and just transfer that message to them. So I fly 123 Roger, Air India 123, clear to descend to flight level 290, report reaching. So you'll be like Air India 123, clear to descend to flight level 290, report reaching. Will relay I fly 123. So you give them acknowledgement that I have heard your message, and then Air India 123, I fly 123, relaying for Mumbai control, cleared to descend to flight level 290, report reaching.
First, there will be read back, then we'll relay for that aircraft, then our call sign.
Uh, So first take a say give a read back, say will relay to that traffic,
Hmm.
and then go to that traffic and say I am relaying for control. So nobody can say that you have done something wrong. So this is how the natural flow of events will go. So Vivan, Harichandana, Victor Tango, Romeo Golf Whiskey, very good. Abhay, Adesh, are we following?
Affirms are following Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Hotel.
Any more questions? Anushka, think. Anything. Anything that makes you feel underprepared. Good. Vivan, any questions? Adesh, any questions?
Negative Victor Tango Alpha Echo Delta.
Negative, sir.
Victor Tango, Romeo Golf Whiskey, nice to see you live in class today. Are you following? Will you be able to like smoothly
Yes, sir.
get started? I'm not sure. I haven't gotten any uh, updates about studies. So please share those with me today, Victor Tango Romeo Golf Whiskey.
Sir, in questions for like further ask for further climb or descent, it will go like whom, who, position and route, flight level, then top of climb, then request for further climb.
Hmm. Like you say your present position, your present altitudes, and then mention top of climb. If you're going to ask for climb to your cruising altitude, your max altitude. So top of climb and request climb.
No estimates in this, no?
One or two estimates are fine if you can give. ETA also is fine, but these days they're expecting shorter calls. So you can give one estimate. Like I said, next, Gudum next, something like that. The reason I said so that you all also get um, con comfortable with the same. Harsh, very warm welcome. Nice to see you. Dhruv, nice to see you. Very warm welcome.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. I hope सब ठीक है. Everyone, Vivan, I saw your message. आज या कल में फाइनल कर देंगे हम. मुझे बस एक चीज़ और चेक करनी है. मैं आज चेक कर लूँगा. एंड इफ आई फील इट्स अ गुड गो अहेड देन मैं एक ब्रीफिंग लेके आपको गो अहेड दे दूंगा. आप चालू कर देना काम. ठीक है. गुड थिंग इज द नेम्स आर परफेक्ट. ओके, देयर इज नो मिसमैच इन नेम्स. आई एम जस्ट येट टू चेक योर यूआईडी फॉर नेम. मेरा एक यूआईडी चेक करना रहेगा. आपने भेजा मुझे यूआईडी.
Yes, sir.
हाँ, वो एक बार वेरीफाई करना है. बस. तो हम कर लेंगे. आज या कल अप्लाई कर देते हैं अपन. ठीक है. आई थिंक
Okay, sir.
बाकी सब रेडी हो गया. सो गुड योर मैसेज टू मी. बस घाई नहीं करो. अच्छे से करते हैं. डिले भी नहीं करते अपन. ठीक है. ओके. विक्टर टैंगो रोमियो गोल्फ विस्की. फाइन. All right. Where is Ninad? Not fine. Okay. So what we were discussing earlier when Vivan and Harsh and Dhruv had not joined, we were just talking about how to actually do the relay call. Okay. So I would want you all to just listen to it. So Anushka, please tell everyone how to get it done. And अभय ध्यान रखो आप भी आदिश you also take care.
If there's a question for relaying for any another aircraft, first I'll contact like Mumbai Control, Victor Tango Alpha November Bravo, relaying for that particular aircraft, and then the whole message. And then they will give the read back to me. And then I have to relay to that aircraft.
Okay, कुछ समझ में आया ध्रुव हर्ष विवान?
Yes, sir, got it. But I have one question. So once the particular aircraft give us the request, we have to read back and confirm with them, or just relay the message to control.
See अनुष्का the same question. आप आंसर नहीं दे रहे हो.
I had the same question. If that aircraft is trying to contact the tower or a control, and we are listening to it, and the question is there, we can directly contact the control or tower about their message. They don't have to contact us in that case. And second scenario, if they are contacting us, we can give the readback to them and then yeah. And you can give readback whenever you think it is necessary.
And how about controller? If controller give us a message, then we have to give the readback to them.
Yes, we have to give the readback to them, and then we will relay to this aircraft, and then we'll take our call sign. Yeah.
Okay.
कुछ समझ आया हर्ष?
हाँ सर आ गए.
Good, good. कुछ ऊपर नीचे रहेगा तो don't worry, I'll update it. I'll correct it. So look at the screen. It's very simple. The relay call will be automatically on once the question changes for a relay. There will be a live traffic simulating a pilot's call requiring the need for relay. So they will be transmitting a call which you can hear, but they will not get a response from the control that you're tuned to. You both are tuned to the same frequency, same control. So you listen and you relay automatically. So W1, W2, Mumbai control, Air India 123. So let's say if this is Mumbai and I'm going on my path, they are going on their path, something altogether. Now you hear them say something. Okay, they are saying something, but that call is not going to ATC. Okay, the connection is broken for some reason. But you are able to listen, you are able to communicate, you are able to communicate, and you are able to listen both. But that traffic is only able to communicate with you, but not to the ground. So you choose to relay. So whatever you hear, whatever call you will hear here, okay, you will send that call here saying relaying for traffic. Then they will say something to you which you have to tell to them. So whatever they tell to you, you first talk to them, give a read back to confirm, and also mention will relay to traffic. In the name of in the place of traffic, say the call sign of the other traffic. And once this is verified, then same call you go and relay. Say relaying for Mumbai control. Step by step, logically. You don't have to remember it or mug up. Chalo. Let's imagine, Anushka, we are flying from Mumbai, okay, and we are going to Nagpur.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah,
So you said that when we are not able, like the other aircraft is not able to communicate with the traffic, but we can hear and also communicate with the traffic and the tower. So in that situation, we just tell the other traffic that, hey, I can listen and I can just relay for you. So how does that work?
You either tell that aircraft that you're going to relay, they can give you the message, or whatever message you hear, you automatically relay without asking. You just relay it to the air traffic controller. So you hear a message ongoing again and again, but nobody is getting a response. You can hear everything because we all are tuned to the same frequency. Okay, we all are tuned to control frequency. So everybody is on receiver mode. Only one person will transmit. Traffic is transmitting, but sadly, ground is not replying. It means ground is not getting, but ground was replying to me. Ground as in control. So this in this case, I will help relay proactively.
So, but the other traffic will be holding the PTT button, right? So when we also try to transmit without informing them, then will that be a problem?
So they will not be holding the PTT all the time. They will do it occasionally. Transmitting blind parameters ask us to transmit every 10 minutes.
Okay.
So whenever you will get a free time, and even if they have pressed PTT, the last person to press PTT is able to transmit. So again, that will not be an issue. But
Okay.
good thoughts, they will not be constantly on PTT because they will also be waiting for a reply from ATC. So they will be let go of PTT to activate the receiver and see whether it's working or not. So sadly, ground will not be replying, but you will be replying. So you can say Air India 123, I fly 789er, will relay to Mumbai Control, and then
Standby
they will give
something
you
like
the
that.
message. If you want, you can do that, but the frequency will be the same. So in these situations, we don't ask them to relay because we have already heard the message and understood that somebody is not getting a connection, connectivity through which they could communicate. So that's where we relay.
Mm.
Students, are we following? Dhruv, are you following?
Yes, sir. Right.
जो भी डाउट्स है क्लियर कर लो स्टूडेंट्स. If you have any doubts, please clear. Okay, so
So
let's
there's one more.
simulate. Yeah, please.
Not about relay. This is about ATC clearance. Say you're on the ground, sir, and you're taxiing, and you want to contact tower, and you want that ATC clearance. So can you just change directly to tower and get the clearance, or do you have to inform ground that you're changing frequency to tower and getting the clearance?
I would want you to say again. I missed a couple of words. Say again.
So we are on ground, so we're taxiing to the holding point, and during the duration, you said we can contact tower anytime we want to ask want the ATC clearance, right? So when I'm taxiing, can I just directly contact tower, or should I tell ground that I'll be contacting tower and getting the ATC clearance?
Very good question. Um, there are two communication panels. Okay. One with the PIC, one with the Copilot, and one extra standby for VHF, HF. So chances are that one PIC can talk to another ATC, and the other comm panel could have a different frequency that you could quickly tune to get a message and come back. So in their case scenario, while you are taxing and complying with taxi, there might be a technical possibility for you to talk to tower from the different station, from the different panel, different pilot, and take the clearance. But it is not suggested because you have to do one thing at a time. So you first complete your taxi, reach holding point, and before line up, you make sure you get your clearance from tower. You can do it, but you will not do it, is the point. So you just keep complying with ground for your taxi on taxiway Charlie, taxiway Delta. On transition from taxi clearance from ground to holding short and enter runway to tower, before you're given a departure clearance or before you read back or say that, okay, cleared for departure, you have to take your takeoff ATC clearance, that is. So you wait till you reach that point, but don't ask during taxi. That's the idea.
So, so
It
say
is
there's
doable.
understood. So say there's a separate channel called delivery only. So delivery, we just contact even before startup, get the ATC clearance, and then
Yes.
go on. Yes, sir.
Same.
Okay.
Delivery or tower, whoever is giving you clearance, before startup also you can ask.
Okay.
During startup, post startup, but during taxi, no. Like any clearance, anything that is cleared for you, you finish it first.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. So during taxi, because you are complying, you will not ask for ATC clearance to tower. In rare case scenario, if you have to expedite, you cannot hold, then you will say on the side, Mumbai Tower, India 123 on taxiway Charlie, complying taxi instructions with ground. Request ATC clearance, kindly expedite, VIP on board. ऐसा कुछ. You can explain, justify. In case you are doing, so you'll say, I'm already complying with ground. You just give me clearance so that I don't get late because I have emergency. So you can justify that way. Otherwise, no, we'll wait and then only take clearance. We'll not do it during taxiway, taxi
Okay.
compliance.
Okay.
And if we are doing, then we will specify. Remember this. Any more doubts? Think about it. Okay. So now this is the traffic. Let's simulate this call quickly. And after that, we'll prepare for our mock exam. Okay. SpiceJet 710 this is. And this is Akasa 615. Okay. You are Akasa 615. This is onward Nagpur and this is inward Mumbai. Route you can take any Golf 472. Okay, fine. So the question is that over Alpha, help relay. If they give you a call sign, great. If not, they might be simulating a real aircraft. Earlier exams, you didn't have a real aircraft, so you had to assume a call and take a hypothetical call that you think you have heard. So imagine you have got this situation, okay, Akasa 615, and your question is help relay. Mumbai Control, SpiceJet 710, 100 DME inbound Bravo Bravo Bravo. Alpha Next 1710, ETA 1745, top of descent 1725, request descent.
Mumbai Control, Akasa 615, relaying for SpiceJet 710, 100 DME inbound, Bravo Bravo Bravo, Alpha Next 1710, ETA 1745, top of descent 1725, request descent.
SpiceJet 710, Mumbai Control, cleared to descend to flight level 150, 50 DME or less, report reaching.
Clear to descend to flight level 150, 50 or less. Report reaching. Akasa 615 will relay to SpiceJet 710.
Continue.
SpiceJet 710, Akasa 615, relaying for Mumbai Control, clear to descend flight level 150, 50 or less, report reaching.
Very good. Very good. Realistically, if ATCs advise you something or give you some other hints, then follow them and do it accordingly. Okay? This is good. You just missed couple of things. ETA Mumbai, mention the name of the destination also. Don't just say ETA, ETA Mumbai. And second thing is uh, 50 DME or less. So 50 what? DME. So use the correct words. So you missed just two words amongst the entirety of it, which is a good sign. We focus more on, we ensure that we don't miss anything that ATC said. Good job. Good job. Any doubts? Anybody wants to share any thoughts on this? Good. Good. Any other way to do this? Dhruv, Harsh, Abhay, Adesh, Vivan, कोई और तरीके से करना है? ठीक है.
So when we contact Mumbai Control saying that we are dealing for Spice 710, should we wait for their reply? Should we just directly tell the call what
No, we
Spice Jet
directly. We don't need to raise the station.
Okay.
We will directly do it. In certain situations, if you feel the need to raise the station, then you do it. But W1, W2 relaying for some other traffic, we just don't keep it that way. We give the whatever call we have heard. So it doesn't come up to be a part of the raising the station in that area. If we had to raise the station, then we'll only raise it this way. Mumbai Control, Akasa 615. And once they say Akasa 615, Mumbai Control, then you'll say relaying for SpiceJet 710, like this. So relaying will come only when we relay the call, not while raising the station. Okay. All right, students, we have a quick exercise. I'll share the flight plan and the chart on screen and then certain questions, and we are going to solve them. Okay. Anushka is going to take the test again because her exam is just in a couple of days. Everybody else be ready. आपका भी आने वाला है. Okay. Um, okay. So just a soft update. Mostly tomorrow we'll not have a group live session. Okay. So tomorrow you can just check with me if you have a session or not. But Anushka, we will be studying, okay? So for you, there is a class. Okay. So everybody, imagine that you're in the exam hall and just wait for me to share the screen and start the paper. Okay. Calmly settle down, get energized, and just Just be ready, okay? And feel free to have discussions between the class. You all can talk to each other and practice calls or whatever till the exam starts. You can make acquaintances, ask each other situations, but don't teach wrong things to each other. Remember to think before speaking. That one technique can really reduce certain errors that we might get. Other than that, everything else is already been told and briefed, but try to keep the calls aligned with logical reasoning. That is very important. And be aware about everything, the flight plan, the situation, and what the ATC is saying. That's it. Do your best. It should be like, okay, I'm the pilot, I'm going to do my best job as a pilot. In this exam, my job is to be aware and to communicate. So I'll do that. I'll be aware and I'll communicate effectively. Okay, all the best. Anushka, do well.
Thank you, sir.
Going blind, okay, everyone? Students, are we ready? Student appearing for the exam, please come in the
Affirm.
exam hall. Yes, yes. Let's get started. Everybody else, please observe, make your notes, and discuss them. End of class. Can you see the screen?
Affirm.
Okay.
Negative. Second is out. Third is approved. Fourth is break. Fifth is correct.
So you said answers for question number 1, is it?
Yes. Affirm.
Can you say 5, 1.5? What was the answer?
Correct.
Are you able to see the chart?
Affirm.
So this is your route, this one, straight.
Nagpur Tower. Air India 1945. Stand 2. Security check complete. Passenger on board 200. IFR from Nagpur to Bhubaneswar. Information Charlie. Request pushback and startup.
Air India 1945, Nagpur Tower. Pushback and startup not approved. Your step ladder still attached.
Pushback and startup not approved. Step ladder still attached. Will remove it. Air India 1945.
Roger, Nagpur Tower.
Nagpur Tower, Air India 1945.
Station calling. Say again call sign.
Nagpur Tower, Air India 1945.
Air India 1945, Nagpur Tower.
Ready for pushback and startup. Air India 1945.
So be careful if the question changes.
Affirm. Nagpur Tower, Air India 1945. On taxiway Charlie, see an aircraft with fuel leaking from left engine. Holding position.
Air India 1945, Nagpur Tower. Say again all.
On taxiway Charlie, see an aircraft fuel leaking from left engine. Air India 195. Disregard. On taxiway Charlie, see an aircraft with fuel leaking from left engine. Holding position. Air India 1945.
Lot of fumbling, no connectivity. Use of disregard is also not proper. Please give better calls.
Oh,
Check. Fuel leaking. Is there an emergency? Is there an urgency? Make it very, make your calls very professional. They should sound formal. Cannot be informal. So focus on the next questions carefully. Don't just think you're giving an exam. Think you're a pilot flying and you're communicating about what you're going to do.
hmm. Nagpur Tower, Air India 1945. Lined up runway 18. Ready for departure.
Air India 1945, Nagpur Tower, cleared for departure, runway 18, winds calm.
Cleared for departure. Runway 18. Winds calm. Air India 1945.
We cannot be quiet if the question is not changed. So we have to continue the conversation. So here the question is not changed.
Nagpur Tower, Air India 19045, takeoff leg, runway 18, passing 1,500 feet for flight level 310.
Trying to zoom in the chart a little bit. Remember, exams will not be able to zoom in, but will be able to see the chart clearly because only those points will be mentioned.
Nagpur approach, Air India 19045, 50 DMA outbound, Nagpur, call 472, flight level 150. Request further climb to flight level 310.
Air India 19045, Nagpur approach. Contact Nagpur control 123 decimal niner.
Changing to Nagpur control 123 decimal niner, Air India 19045. Nagpur control, Air India 19045 on 123 decimal niner, 50 DME outbound Nagpur, flight level 150. Request further climb to flight level 310.
You could have mentioned the top of climb and certain estimate, made your call a little more richer here. Now the examiner is giving hints, not the instructor. So try and focus. Air India 19045, Nagpur control. Cleared to climb to flight level 310, radial 098, outbound November November Papa. Estimate flight level 310 at or before Ruxal. Report reaching.
Clear to climb flight level 310, radial 0998, outbound November Papa. Estimate flight level 310 at or below Ruxar. Report reaching Air India 19045.
Students unable to read the chart, these are the waypoints.
Nagpur Control, Air India 1945. Over Sadev, call 472, flight level 310. Received bad weather warning over Ikusi, would like to deviate from the current track, turn right for 15 nautical mile. At 10 nautical mile, will climb 300 feet and fly offset for 10 minute and rejoin at the chart, please. Rejoin at Upasa.
So you're getting a no response. ATC is not responding.
Yes. Pan, 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 pan. All aircraft, vicinity of Sadev, received bad weather warning ahead, would like to deviate, turn right for 15 nautical mile. At 10 nautical mile, will climb 300 feet. Duration 10 minute. To avoid bad weather, will join at Opasa. Pan, 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 pan. Nagpur Control, Air India 1945. Passenger, fallen 6, suspecting a heart attack. Would like to make a priority landing at Bhubaneswar. Over Upasa, Golf 472, flight level 310, passenger on board 200, endurance 0230.
You made the call to Nagpur Control, is it?
Mhm.
So again, you have no response. So you made this call, but you have not gotten any
Bhubaneswar,
response.
yeah, should not move. Pan, 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 pan. Bhubaneswar approach.
Did
Air
you
India,
did you see the flight plan? Can you just check the flight plan for ATCs? Hmm?
you should go to Kolkata Control.
Fine. Be careful, okay?
Yeah. Pan, 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 pan. Bhubaneswar Tower. Air India 1945. CN aircraft backtracking on runway 27 will carry a missed approach and remain in circuit. Final runway 27.
Air India 19045, Bhubaneswar Tower, say again.
Pan, 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 pan. Bhubaneswar Tower. Air India 1945. CN training aircraft backtracking on runway 27 will carry a missed approach and remain in circuit. Final runway 27.
Can you tell me reason for pan on this call?
Because we are on final and they are backtracking, so we can't make an approach. But we can go around.
Can you take this call again? Same question, question number 8.
Pan. Bhubaneswar TAR, Air India 1945. Sea and training aircraft backtracking runway 27 will carry a missed approach, remain in circuit. Final runway 27. Request for the instruction.
Air India 19045, Bhubaneswar Tower. Maintain runway centerline, runway 27, 1500 feet. Join ATC circuit at crosswind, 1500 feet. Report reaching.
Maintain runway centerline, runway 27, 1500 feet. Join ATC circuit at crosswind, 1500 feet. Report reaching Air India 1945. Pan. Bhubaneswar TAR, Air India 1945. Brakes, hot indication, landed runway 27. Stopping slowly. Need assistance.
Bhubanesh, you called Bhubaneswar Tower. That is good. Air India 19045, Bhubaneswar Tower, Roger Pan. Stop the aircraft slowly. Hold position, runway 27. Firefighting services dispatched. Confirm persons on board.
Pan confirm. Stopping aircraft slowly. Holding position. Passenger on board 200. Air India 1945.
Students, let's resurface. Anushka, how are you feeling?
I messed it up. Like most of the questions.
Mm-hmm. No worries. Students, did everyone understand the question paper, the route, the flight plan? Quickly, Vivan, Harsh.
Sir. Affirm, sir.
Dhruv, hi Chandana, you're watching. सब कहाँ गए बाकी बच्चे कहाँ गए क्लास से भी 7 राइट कम हो गए हम आई थिंक सम डिस्कनेक्शंस खुला खुला लग रहा है ना क्लास प्ले ग्रुप में आ गए हम लोग वापस ओके क्विक ऑब्जर्वेशंस अभय विवान लेट्स हैव अ ग्रुप डिस्कशन एवरीवन सब अनम्यूट पे चले जाओ ये सिर्फ तुम्हारी लर्निंग चेक करने के लिए है अनुष्का को कोई असेस नहीं कर रहा है यहाँ पे सो अनुष्का डोंट थिंक दैट एनीबॉडी इज असेसिंग यू लेट्स हैव अ ग्रुप डिस्कशन क्विक
So overall, I feel it was good. There was some fumbleness, and somewhere we need to give urgency call, and somewhere we need not to. So that's what I found. So
ओके
like she told pan on when she was on approach, but there's no need of giving pan when we are on approach because we don't have any emergencies. And on fuel leak one, we have to give distress. I think so. Where she did not give.
गुड विवान अभय
Sir, all the calls are very good. Sir, for sick medical emergency, sir, we have to call the ATC for emergency medical situation when arriving to the aerodrome or when landed to aerodrome. If we have medical emergency on while airborne.
ओके अभय अभी से आप फास्ट बातें करना शुरू करोगे वी नीड टू रीच दैट लेवल ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन वे यूर फास्ट सो नेक्स्ट टाइम कुछ भी बोलोगे आप एकदम फास्ट बोलना भले इंग्लिश ब्रेक हो रही है ग्रामर में सो रहा है बट आप फास्ट बोलना वो अपने आप पिकअप हो जाता है बाद में अभी आप केयरफुली बहुत अच्छा बोल रहे हो ओके विवाद
I was observing the question paper and pattern, so I realized it's like not very difficult RTR exam, like Viva part,
वाइवा नो प्रैक्टिकल वी कॉल इट
practical.
प्रैक्टिकल वाइवा इज द ओल्ड स्कूल personal interview, which is synonym to part one of the exam, written exam. So practical exam. Very good. I like what you observed. Did you understand the flight plan?
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. Anushka, you need not rush. Okay. ये बताते हैं. We need not rush. As in, if ATC has certain flow, you also try and match that certain flow. Okay, like you could have matched a laid back flow if the ATC was a little laid back right now in this session, so that you get time, you get support. Okay, irrespective, I can see a lot of improvements compared to what you were doing initially. So most of the weaknesses that, not weaknesses, but the errors that you had earlier, they are almost gone. Okay, that is a very good thing. Now, are all calls good? Are there errors made? Of course, it is expected because these are your practice mocks, and this is where we have to make errors so that we can avoid making them in the exam. Okay. So, this is again a practice mock. I yesterday discussed in the last class the same route and similar call types. So, I was expecting we include them in these calls, and weather deviation, I didn't see that inclusion. So you have to think about what you have studied, then take a call. So just study the situation, think it through, and then give a call. It is very important. So your errors can be avoided. Now, what are these errors like? Students, the flight plan has some information given to us. What is that information? We have additional info under special handling that we have VVIP on board. Anushka, be careful whenever we have VVIP on board. or similar situations, then we need priority. So startup on priority is something goes hand in hand with startup calls whenever you have priority. So you have to mention request startup on priority, and we have to check if Nagpur has ATIS or DATIS. If it has ATIS, then we say information code as well in the startup call. Okay, so the startup call sounded good, but priority was not mentioned. ATC said stepladder is attached. You said will remove it. Instead of will remove it, will it was a good idea, but you are not going to remove it. Somebody else will come from dispatch. You're going to call someone from dispatch to come and get it off, or maybe some ground support staff if they were in touch. But if you're asking for startup, it means they're not in touch. Everything is done. You're cleared for departure. Then how is the stepladder still attached? So your readback was good. Then I don't know why you were just raising the station again. You could have simply called Nagpur Tower, India 19045. Step ladder removed. Request pushback and startup. On priority, VVIP on board. IFR so and so persons on board. Still, you give entire information. All the startup calls. So you directly started saying when ETC said India 19045 Nagpur Tower, you said ready for pushback and startup. India 19045. So such replies can come in a different situation, but here I think you could have given me a whole call. So Nagpur Tower, India 19045, stand so and so, step ladder removed, estimate time of departure, persons on board, VIP on board, request pushback and startup on priority. Do mention priority because step ladder removal all has taken some time and we might be late. So we have to keep in check what is there in the flight plan. Priority. Priority will be given to hospital flight, VVIP, humanitarian flight, VIP, human organ transplant flight, um flood relief, flood rescue. Such will get time-based priority. Training aircraft will get extra attention, and hazmat carrying hazardous material gets extra precaution and caution. Medivac is a type of aircraft that will require priority departure. So just startup on priority, that's it. Only one thing was missing. And if a startup is denied due to something and when you're coming back for startup, it's good to give the whole call again. Keep it short but give essential information. Don't keep it so short also. Mention priority and mention the stepladder is removed. Continuity somewhere. Students, are we following?
Affirm, sir.
Everyone. See, knowing is one thing, doing is another thing. Now, there is a thin line where you transfer from knowing to doing. That is called applying what you're learning in practice and then becoming proficient in practice. So, it is very important you listen and apply everything that is said right now. अभी सिर्फ अनुष्का का check हो रहा है, so Anushka, you have to do it max levels. So, tomorrow when I'm doing your one-on-one session, I need to see these differences. So, कल group session नहीं होगा, Anushka will just sit and study and do final prep, okay? आई थिंक समवेयर 3:30 से स्टार्ट करना ट्राई करते हैं कल ओके रेडी फॉर इट अनुष्का एवरीबडी विल प्रिपेयर फॉर देयर मॉक सेशंस ओके कल बाकी लोग हर्ष नेक्स्ट लाइन में आप ही रहने वाले हो तो आप रेडी हो जाओ एग्जाम के लिए क्लास एग्जाम के लिए ठीक है ओके क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 क्या था ड्यूरिंग टैक्सी सी एन एयरक्राफ्ट विद फ्यूल लीकिंग फ्रॉम लेफ्ट इंजन यहाँ पे दूसरी एयरक्राफ्ट थ्रेट में हो सकती है इफ Anushka, tell me if we have done urgency and distress. I had shared some sessions with you. उसमें cover हुआ था urgency distress. So you remember the difference between urgency and distress calls? The definition, if we see some other person or vehicle in threat, then it becomes an urgency call. So here we have urgency because fuel leakage could rise into fire for that aircraft. And here the description is not clear. So your call was not up to the mark there. And when you said disregard, it didn't make sense. And once you say disregard, you should start from a proper call. So it was very informal here. It should not be informal. So pan, Nagpur Tower, Air India 19045 on taxiway Charlie for runway 18. See an aircraft leaking fuel on stand 2 left of taxiway Charlie. Appears to be a Boeing 737. Operator undetermined, unable to determine operator. Request emergency firefighting services on stand 2. So you are seeing something and you have to report that something. If it is happening on your taxiway, if some aircraft ahead you has leaked fuel, then it becomes a different situation. So you report that situation. So anybody has any doubt with this call? It would go pan. Nagpur Tower, India 19045, taxiway Charlie for runway 18. See an aircraft leak fuel from left engine. Aircraft is parked at stand 2, appears to be Boeing 737. Request emergency firefighting services on stand 2. You just have to report. And you have said you are taxiing on Charlie Way for runway 18 or any runway you can say if it was cleared to you. If not cleared, taxiing on for runway you can mention that much. So keep it clear. Can you give me a call?
Pan. Nagpur Tower, Air India 19045 on taxiway Charlie for runway 27. See an aircraft, fuel leaking from left engine, require fire brigading services on stand 2.
Request firefighting services. Don't say required, say request firefighting services on stand 2. That is good. And if you don't know the name of the runway, just say runway. On taxiway Charlie for runway. Request firefighting services on stand 2. Yes. You can also say request alerting the crew of the said aircraft, but they will do it. You have just reported it and they'll do it so that they can shut down the engine and they can, disembark the passengers also. They can check the leak and they can check about any possible potential fire sources around. It's a critical point then. It is not as simple as it looks when there's a fuel leakage. Because one flame and everything is gone. You understood the differences in the first call and the second call? I think your phraseology was correct. Whenever you start, just mention question number 1.1, mention the question number and then start. They should not get an idea that, okay, वो question number नहीं बोल रही है, ऐसे ही बोल रही है. So just, then they say, if they say don't say question number, then it's fine. Initially, when you start, say the question number. Phrases were great. Uh, just reread them every day so that we don't struggle. Even if you say disregard, then start with W1, W2 properly. And instead of disregard, you can say correction, I say again, and start the whole call. Today, I was happy to see you have not used correction at all. You didn't make such errors. So there are many positives. Do not worry and do not judge yourself. Okay? Just focus on the feedback and apply in the next class. Question number 4. Lined up, runway 18, request departure. This question, we have discussed it so many times. Only when we are said that we are cleared for takeoff is when we are going to take off. Here they said cleared for departure, they didn't say take off. But तुम उड़ गए और तुम टेक ऑफ लेग से कॉल कर रहे हो तो वहां पे बहुत बड़ा एरर हो गया. Okay? So even if an ATC is making an error, you should not make an error. Cleared for departure, winds calm, runway 18. ऐसे लग रहा है अरे वाह टेक ऑफ ही दे दिया है. बोला हाँ हाँ क्लियर तो ठीक है बट रिक्वेस्ट टेक ऑफ यू कुड हैव आस्क्ड दैट देन. Cleared for departure, runway 18, winds calm. Request takeoff, Air India 1945. Then everybody would have stood up and clapped for you. देख टेक ऑफ नहीं बोला उसने तो मांग रहे हैं हम, ऐसा हो गया. सो दैट वाज वन एरर वेयर आई वांटेड ऑल टू. सो ये छोटी छोटी चीजें जो हमने सीखी हैं, दिस लिटिल थिंग्स दैट वी हैव लर्नड. Departure clearance, departure instructions, ATC information, departure information, ADC clearance. So ADC clearance and departure clearance are same. ATC information and departure information are different. Departure information is the ATIS information. ATC information is also the same. And departure instructions and ATC clearance, they are the same thing. So departure clearance is different than departure instructions. And if you are set cleared for departure, it doesn't mean you'll take off. Your takeoff will only be done when you are said take off. So be careful about it. And I thought I'll give you a pause to continue so that maybe you'll realize. But you said you're on takeoff leg runway. I'm like, fine. Question number 5. You are 50 DME inbound, outbound November Papa, flight level 150, request climb. So again, it was a good call, but I wanted to use top of climb. And हमने कर लिया है ये discuss कुछ classes में पहले. All I'm seeking for you to do is revise your notes, all our live sessions, see if there are some new things that we have learned that you have to apply in your calls. और मुझे नहीं लगता कोई टेंशन है. बस it's just that how the mind works. You have to just consciously guide your mind to remember and then make it work so that those requisites will come in your call. So Nagpur Control, India 19045, 50 DME outbound, November Papa, flight level 150, Golf 472, estimating this and this next, top of climb so and so time, request climb to flight level 310. That's it. तीन चीजें ऐड करनी थी लास्ट में. उसमें से आपने आधी चीजें ऐड की है, वो आधी पूरी करनी है हमें बस. बाकी कुछ नहीं है, बहुत सिंपल कॉल है ये भी. You are at 50 DME. Students, it's a very simple call. Almost all calls will be simple, like Vivan said, because the question looks simple. Not necessary, we will judge the calls from the perspective of simple and hard, but you get the idea. Simple would be we get it directly, perfectly, and get good marks. Hard would be we are not getting it clearly and we are not able to give the call also clearly and we are not getting good marks. So there's still 2 to 3 stages for each situation to understand and then to frame a call and then to check and then give the call. So you do this exercise tomorrow. Tomorrow you'll give me like better than perfect performance. Okay. And we'll do 2 minimum tomorrow. So all we're going to do all polishing. But all hard work you have to do till that time from today onwards. So कल 3:30 आफ्टरनून के पहले पहले आपको पूरी तैयारी कर लेनी है. Based upon this feedback also. That's it. Okay. So top of climb and all those things. Is someone saying something, students? 4 more questions left. Okay. Over Sadev, you are informed of bad weather over Akasi. Request weather deviation. Sadev and Akasi are following each other. So over Sadev, you have been informed about bad weather over Akasi. Request weather deviation. This call could have been structured properly, Anushka. Here the control we could have checked. It is Kolkata control now. But yeah, flow of the mind, exam, prep, pressure, human factors is why such errors are happening. But now was the last day of this error. Tomorrow maybe probably will be our last day for these errors. Okay? So be careful. Be careful and contact the right controls, even if ATC is giving you hints. So when I said no ATC is responding, you quickly did a deviation on your own. So your mind is somewhere thinking, but my point to give you the hint was to tell you that okay, आप गलत ATC को call कर रहे हो, check your ATC. But you thought okay, it's an RCF simulated, so I'll do a weather deviation on your own. Students, both things can happen. You will get a no response either because the ATC is simulating an RCF, or you will get a no response because you have called the wrong ATC. So first check your ATC, raise the station again, call the next ATC, raise the station again. If it is not working, then only you will assume you have RCF. And to come to a conclusion that we have total RCF, we have to try and contact all stations. So please understand the hints given by examiners. Wrong ATC, right ATC would be control. Kolkata control, India 19045 over Sadev, flight level 310, Golf 472. Receive bad weather warning over Rikosi. Would like to deviate to the right by 15 nautical miles. At 10 nautical miles, will climb 300 feet. Duration 20 minutes. Will fly parallel on deviated track until clear of weather. Request weather deviation. Something like this. This call also have stretched, I know, but I'm confident and I know it will work. So it's a simple call. Remember, rejoining thing we will talk about later. We don't need to tell right away unless we have been demanded to give an information of that sort. Following, Anushka? Good, good. हर्ष आप फॉलो कर रहे हो, विवान आप फॉलो कर रहे हो?
Affirm, sir.
ठीक है. And then if you're doing deviation on your own also, then the protocol makes it a pan call and the call goes to all aircraft. So वो कर भी रहे हो तो correctly करना. Pan, all aircraft in the vicinity of Sadav, Air India 19045. Bad weather warning over Rikosi, no ATC in contact. Aircraft turning right, deviating on own for 15 nautical miles. At 10 nautical miles, will climb 300 feet, maintain parallel on deviated track. All X-ray lights on, keep a lookout. So ये सब मिसिंग था. कोई बात नहीं, ध्यान रखना है, रिवाइज करना है. कुछ चीज़ें नहीं पढ़ी है, मुझे लिस्ट भेज देना तो वो हम ब्रीफ में कवर अप कर लेंगे. ऐसा कुछ याद आ रहा है कि सर मेरे को याद नहीं आ रहा है, ये सब कभी पढ़ाएगा. Then I'll make sure I give you a good quick briefing or maybe a couple of lectures to study. But make sure you get all these things right. Question number 7, again, wrong ATC. Question number 6, okay, you were close to Nagpur control boundary, but 7, you were very far off. So you should have focused, always cross-check ATC call signs. Simple. Over Opasa, passenger has fallen sick. Good thinking, you said pan. On ground, it's not a pan call. Priority landing at Bhubaneswar was correct. Just the wrong ATC and a couple of elements could have been increased or decreased, but just the ATC was wrong. Call could be pan, Kolkata control, Air India 19045, over Opasa, flight level 310, passenger on board has fallen sick, unable to revive the passenger is male, 4-5 years old, request immediate descent and priority landing at Bhubaneswar, something like this. It makes it much more, it becomes easy now. I understanding the situation makes it much more easy. It becomes a pan call when a passenger is sick if we are unable to revive the passenger. If the passenger is, we are able to revive the passenger and he's got some support from the crew and they are fine, then we might not take a pan call. So here, check the ATC. Thinking was correct. Structuring, I'm sure if I give the same question again, you will fix it. But yeah, once again, Kolkata control, India 19045. Passenger on board has fallen sick over Opasa, flight level 310. Unable to revive passenger. Passenger is male, 4-5 years old, appears to have had an heart attack. Request immediate descent and priority landing at Bhubaneswar and doctors on arrival. Directly. Like the more I think, the more I'm able to request for things. And then you can give rest of the information, finishing this part, all essential information in the same call, endurance, POB, type of aircraft. Are we following? Chalo, last two calls, then we are done. Question number 8, anything going on finals, unless or until there's a fire, anything else going on finals, missed approach and go around procedure. Anything falling in the category of urgency, unless you have that, it's a simple call. So Bhubaneswar Tower, India 9045, finals runway 27, see a training aircraft backtracking on runway 27, or see an aircraft backtracking on runway 27, appears to be a training aircraft, would like to carry out a missed approach and a go around procedure, or carrying out a missed approach and go around procedure. That's it. Very simple. Remember these points. Initiating, missed approach, and go around procedure. Initiating, missed approach, and go around procedure. What I really liked was your read back. Anytime I've asked for a read back, most of them have been correct, and it is going to work in your favor. Because anything ATC says, you're going to repeat and comply. So that is very good. I really like that. And nine, question number niner. Good, you remembered break sort indication, but I thought the call was a little, it could have been more. Okay. It could have been more. But your readback was again very good. So pan, Bhubaneswar Tower, India 19045, landed runway 27, brakes hot, stopping the aircraft slowly on runway 27. Request firefighting services and further instructions. Something like this. Very simple. Okay. Land कर दिया, brakes hot hai. I'll hold position and request whatever you ask. Like here, if I could have, if there was more complication, then it would have been like you have to accommodate landing aircraft behind you or something like that. So you might have to ask to vacate the runway or vacate on your own and then hold position on adjacent taxiway. Simple call, good you remembered brake sort indication. Simple call. Not many Mayday calls, but you can expect Mayday calls to come in your next test. How do you feel before the feedback and after the feedback? Because you were saying you made a lot of mistakes, but after the discussion, what do you think? Share your state of mind.
This is a lot of mistakes for exam. I can't make this much mistakes in exam.
Forget the mistakes. Think about what you have learned now.
Finally, my readbacks are fine. But if I make mistakes in like initiating a read, like giving a radio call and starting only, then readback does not matter.
That's why we avoid making mistakes. We think it through. I didn't see you thinking about calls. I saw you give me calls directly. So whenever you're thinking maybe ATC was nudging and you were just rushing to give the call. No, you stick to your plan. Check your what are the plan, students? Check the ATC, construct the call using 4Ws, right? Frame the call in your mind to check errors. All these things will happen at fraction of seconds. We have to do this and only then take call irrespective of who puts what pressure on us. So the chances of making errors are less. Are we following? What could be the errors? Wrong ATC, partial information, wrong structuring, fumbling, not using phrases. That's it. 4 to 5 to 6 type of errors only can happen. You have to avoid those errors. So Anushka, it's easy to do because you had 7.5 minutes extra pending even after the last question was done. So what's the use of those point time that time? So if so just go with the flow and focus on each situation at a time. That has to be accurate. आप टेक ऑफ ले रहे हो तो आप लैंडिंग के बारे में सोचोगे क्या? इट्स इम्पॉसिबल. हमारा तो V1 क्रॉस होने के बाद भी हमारे रनवे पे कुछ हो गया तो हम एयरक्राफ्ट को स्टॉप नहीं करता. लाइक हवा में चले जाएंगे, कुछ भी हो गया, V1 आ गया, ऊपर जाने ही जाना है. फिर फिगर आउट कर लेंगे क्या करना है, चाहिए तो वापस लैंड कर लेंगे. So similarly, the best technique to make sure your first calls are good is to take one call at a time and give your best to that call. And repeat that exercise for each question. So probability बढ़ जाएगी. जब probability बढ़ गई वहाँ errors कम हो जाएंगे. And I'm not saying it's a challenge. I'm just saying it's based on today's performance. Now today's performance, maybe you were not expecting the session. Maybe you were worried session नहीं होगा. Or maybe the 20-minute wait period played some human factors. So उसके वजह से भी हम displace हो जाते हैं performance में. Small things which result into small errors. So next time when you're called in the exam room or the mock room, you sit down, take few deep breaths, centralize yourself so that you're not distracted or you don't make any errors. It's a simple thing that we do almost everywhere, wherever we go. Exams, we might not remind ourselves to do it because it's a very rushed exam. So you avoid the rush, you sit, let accumulate everything, sit, remind yourself of all strategies you're going to follow. Read the flight plan, track the route, construct calls, say the right things, logical reasoning, listen, understand, be aware. So everything can be summed up into being aware of the situation. Now I'm teaching. If I'm not aware, I'll make mistakes. I'll not listen to you. So it's not going to be effective. But if I'm teaching and if I'm aware, then it becomes super effective. Just like you're a student. If you're not aware, you'll miss out on what sir said. You're like, sir, question वापस बताओ मुझे. But if you're aware, then you're doing the right thing. The same level of awareness you keep there. What is happening? Just be aware and fully dedicated. Those 30 minutes you have to be nowhere else. So all these things really help improve your calls and confidence just by doing it. So keep these things in mind, and I'm sure you're going to make me proud tomorrow. Today also I'm very proud because these are just new situation based errors and I'm not worried much about them. I don't see anything grave. If there's anything grave, then I'll tell you and we'll have to work on that. But I don't think so. So I want you to be positive and just tell yourself, okay, I have to apply what I have learned. So I have to consciously do things. It's just a call. I am doing it consciously. I have to increase the consciousness level. I'm not saying हम नहीं कर रहे हैं. थोड़ा और बढ़ाएंगे, थोड़ा और बढ़ाएंगे, थोड़ा और बढ़ाएंगे. ठीक है? विवान, समझ रहे हो सारी चीजें? आप भी अप्लाई करोगे ये सारी टेक्निक्स? हर्ष, आप भी अप्लाई करोगे टेक्निक्स? अभय, आप भी अप्लाई करोगे टेक्निक्स? Alright. Anushka, any doubts, questions?
No, sir.
Hmm. Good job on a lot of good things, huh? Keep it up. Don't lose your confidence. I don't think there's anything for you to lose your confidence. At the same time, be strict with yourself, give your best, and meet me tomorrow. Okay?
I have one question, sir.
Yes?
So even I find difficulties in finding my position and whom to call. And I made my mistake on my exam. Yeah, so I want to learn how to, call the which ATC we have to contact.
हाँ. तो हर्ष ध्यान देंगे हमने क्या किया है. हमने चार्ट रीडिंग में समझा है कि देयर हैव बीन कंट्रोल बाउंड्रीज and FIR boundaries. So whenever we are talking about VHF ATCs, we have to look at these blue thick boundaries. Okay? And we have to look at the ATCs available. ACC, departure, en route, destination. There could be 3 ACCs, or maybe 2 ACCs, or maybe 1 ACC. बस आपको वो ब्लू लाइन के इस तरफ है कि इस तरफ है वो देखना है. बाकी आपको समझ जाएगा कौन सा ACC है. सेकेंड थिंग, tower approach control from parking bay till runway holding point, ground, from holding point till maybe flight level 70. Tower, it could go up to flight level 1450 also certain places. From a certain point from tower till further climb approach, and from certain point up to flight level 150 more so, most cases, till cruising altitudes is back again control. तो हम कहाँ है हमें वो चार्ट देख के डिटरमाइन करना है क्वेश्चन के सिचुएशन. एंड चार्ट पे देख के हमें देखना है बस बाउंड्री की इस तरफ है तो कंट्रोल पता चल जाएगा. अगर क्रूजिंग ऑल्टीट्यूड पे है, लोअर ऑल्टीट्यूड्स पे है तो टावर या अप्रोच हो सकता है. तो बस हमें देखना है नियरेस्ट एयरड्रोम कौन सा है, कहाँ जा रहे हैं, कहाँ से आ रहे हैं हम लोग. सो व्हेन वी विल बी डूइंग योर प्रैक्टिस सेशन, so you keep looking at the chart and the question and relate yourself and see the sections of the chart, see the boundaries, and you'll know where you are. So waypoints reference दिए होंगे, DME reference दिए होंगे. So where is that waypoint? Is it in control of Nagpur or in control of Kolkata? If it's in Kolkata, then make the call to Kolkata. It's as simple as that. But we have to just be aware.
But how
Oh.
to, you know, difference between like control and approach. Let's say we are 70 nautical miles inbound Bhubaneswar at 110, flight level 110. So whom will contact?
So flight level 110 here, if we check, if we have Bhubaneswar approach, yes, we have Bhubaneswar approach on the flight plan. So 110 will go to approach. आप ऐसे समझ लो एयर स्पेसेस के फ्लाइट लेवल्स मिनिमम एंड मैक्सिमम चार्ट पे दिए होते हैं और वहाँ लिखा होता है कौन सा अप्रोच कौन सा कंट्रोल का मिनिमम मैक्सिमम ऑल्टीट्यूड क्या है तो उसके हिसाब से हम डिटरमाइन करते हैं जैसे टावर का होगा ग्राउंड लेवल टू सर्टन 5070 कुछ कुछ एयरपोर्ट्स पे 150 भी होता है तो जस्ट बी अवेयर ऑफ द चार्ट चाहिए तो चार्ट रीडिंग का सेशन एक बार वापस से गो थ्रू कर सकते हैं तो एवरीथिंग इज मेंशन ऑन द चार्ट एंड आइडियली आपको खुद से नहीं कॉल करना होता है टावर अपने आप आपको अप्रोच भेजता है अप्रोच आपको अपने आप कंट्रोल भेजता है तो आपको यही डिटरमाइन करना है लोअर ऑल्टीट्यूड्स इन द विसिनिटी ऑफ एरोड्रोम इट कुड बी टावर डिपार्चर या अराइवल रिलेटेड इनिशियल या फर्दर क्लाइम अप्रोच दे सकता है या तो टावर सीधा कंट्रोल के पास भी भेज सकता है तो अप्रोच सिर्फ लिमिटेड एरोड्रोम्स में ही है जहाँ होगा वहाँ दिखाया होगा कहीं ना कहीं सो आपको अप्रोच कॉल करना है जैसे कि ये फ्लाइट प्लान में टावर अप्रोच कंट्रोल तीनों दिए हैं नागपुर के सो नागपुर डिपार्चर विल हैपन थ्रू टावर देन अप्रोच देन कंट्रोल अप्रोच विल गिव
Okay.
मी फर्दर क्लाइम भुवनेश्वर में टावर और अप्रोच ही है कंट्रोल नहीं है सो कोलकाता कंट्रोल भुवनेश्वर अप्रोच पे भेजेगा भुवनेश्वर अप्रोच फिर टावर के थ्रू लैंडिंग कराएगा
Okay. Got it.
समझ रहे हो सो दिस इज हाउ वी विल डिड्यूस गिवन व्हाट द सिचुएशन इज चार्ट बेस्ड है टेबल में दिया है एक्चुअल एटीसीज ब्रीफिंग के टाइम दे दिया है सो फ्लाइट लेवल वुड नॉट वेरी मच 5150 कहीं ना कहीं फिक्स्ड है अप्रोच के लिए मोस्ट टाइम्स एंड टावर के लिए फ्लाइट लेवल 50 भी होता है 70 भी होता है 100 भी होता है 150 भी होता है कुछ कुछ चेंजेस में सो ये फिक्स वैल्यूज याद रख लो एंड यू कैन गो विद दैट डिडक्शन देन वी विल
Got
प्रैक्टिस
it.
दिस will practice, but you try and make a call based upon this. In the worst case scenario, you'll be only confused between two ATCs. Worst case scenario. तो उसमें भी हमें अगर डाउट है ये होगा कि ये होगा तो फर्स्ट वी जस्ट रेज द स्टेशन यूजिंग द वन इफ वी डोंट गेट अ रिप्लाई देन वी रेज द स्टेशन यूजिंग द सेकंड if we get a reply then we know that okay the second one was the correct ATC.
So in exam, what they're doing is, if you call wrong ATC, they themselves are, saying by correct ATC. Like if I'm
Because
calling to Nagpur, they'll automatically say Delhi control like that.
no this is good this is actually what ATC will do but in exams they can give you any kind of simulation if they'll give you realistic simulation then if you're calling the wrong ATC then they'll just tell you to call the right ATC
Okay.
जैसे कि अभी अनुष्का was calling the wrong ATC so I like Air India 19045 Nagpur approach contact Nagpur control or Air India 19045 Nagpur control contact Kolkata control जो भी सुन रहा है वो उसको करेक्ट कर देंगे सो वो लोग करेंगे ऐसा वेरी गुड इफ यू कॉल द रॉन्ग एटीसी एंड इफ दे आर सेइंग कॉन्टैक्ट द राइट से कॉन्टैक्टिंग एंड देन जस्ट टॉक टू देम देन जस्ट कन्वर्ट इट इनटू एन आरटी कॉल ओनली कंप्लीटली
Got it.
अच्छा है वो ऐसा कर रहे हैं तो अच्छी बात है इफ दे आर करेक्टिंग यू डायरेक्टली देन इट्स अ गुड थिंग सो दे आर नॉट क्रिएटिंग एनी एक्स्ट्रा सिनेरियोज फॉर एग्जाम so maybe they're keeping it realistic to what they have experienced students are we following
Affirm, sir.
chart reading is an important question. What Harsh asked is an important question. Working pilots who are studying for RT exam for renewals, um, they also like don't have a habit of checking the chart. So for exams, they have to have this habit, and they realize that it is important because certain situations will not be able to determine our intent if we are not looking at the chart. So to know which ATC to talk to and where we are is a part of situational awareness. सो हर्ष ये बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है जो पिकअप करें हमें उस पर काम करना है पहले एक चीज़ आ गई ध्यान में हमारे बिकॉज इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ सिचुएशनल अवेयरनेस देर आर चांसेस यू माइट गेट थ्रू एन एग्जाम विदाउट लुकिंग एट द चार्ट बट दैट वुड बी अ कोइंसिडेंस ओके दैट वुड जस्ट बी अ कोइंसिडेंस otherwise 3 to 4 calls you will have to have based upon the chart so remember you take time to track the chart also next mock sessions I'll give you your personal copy to zoom in and zoom out on your phone. Okay, but exam charts are pretty simple, so you can see it directly there. Ashka, are you following any apprehensions? Affirm to apprehensions? Yeah. Please share if anything.
Sir, whatever you are saying, I can understand it. I have experienced the same thing which Harsh also said. They are telling us to change the frequency and they are contacting us and telling.
Yeah, because we might not have called the right ATC. Remember, it was the issue with delivery and tower, I guess. Yeah. So, what I'm saying, if you are not getting it right now, it's fine, but it's the same thing. We need to be able to determine a position. And let's look at the chart once and see how the error happened. So, see, can we see the chart once here? So, the first question said that I'm over Ruksal. Okay. So where is Ruksal? I'm in November, Papa Nagpur, and I see this blue thick line. Okay. And I see there are three variations. One is here, one is here, and one is here. And a small triangle here. So at max, I'll have four controls here, separated by these blue thick lines. Are we following? I'm
Sir.
talking about the blue
Affirm.
thick line, this blue line. So if I'm over Ruksal, I'm in Nagpur control. If I'm over Sadev, I am in Kolkata control. I'm not even asking you to look at FIR, but see this. Kolkata ACC, flight level 255 to flight level 460. So such are the fractions written for lower altitude and higher altitude for a particular airspace. हर्ष आप पूछ रहे थे कैसे मेंशन्ड होता है ऐसे मेंशन्ड होता है यहाँ देखो फ्लाइट लेवल 075 टू फ्लाइट लेवल 250 यहाँ पे भी एक लेवल दिया है एयर स्पेस का सो सच मेंशंस विल बी एवरीवेयर See, Raipur Tower, we are getting flight level up to 105, Raipur Tower. So, Anushka, are you following what is happening? How to determine where we are? Here we were Nagpur. Sadev, rare situations, you might still be in contact with Nagpur till they are sending you back to Kolkata. But remember, we had discussed a few calls called crossing clearance calls. So we asked for a VHF, we asked for crossing clearance over a waypoint somewhere here. So the crossing is also changing the VHF frequencies of control to control. See Nagpur control flight level 055 to flight level 460. So Nagpur, Kolkata, do we have any other control mentioned here? We have Jaipur Tower. We don't have control. What is this place? It is not within the frame of our chart. And then we have Bhubaneswar here. So Bhubaneswar also has tower up to flight level 50 only. And the same thing, I'm telling you, it is also there on your flight plan, students. Check this. Check the frequencies. So Nagpur has tower approach control. Bhubaneswar has tower and approach. And another control is just Kolkata control. So these are the frequencies we'll be using to communicate. Are we following? कुछ तो follow
Sir.
कर रहे हैं हम.
Sir.
And Anushka, if you're going through a lot of question banks, so chances are that they might, uh, you know, make you feel like, what is the word? It could be a mess. So if you're doing just that as your final prep, then keep me in loop. I don't think you should be doing it. You should just give an hour or two to papers and rest. Everything should be a thorough revision and discussion. है ना? So don't get into that zone of just doing endlessly 1,000 questions and 1,500 questions. You don't need to do all that. ऐसा नहीं होगा ऐसा होगा कि सर मेरे को ट्रिक बताओ मेरे को ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर आना चाहिए सो आई टेल यू द ट्रिक्स which will be applicable to all questions. So that will be a great learning. So don't get there where you are endlessly 18 hours a day doing question papers. Don't trouble yourself, okay? Not needed. Two more live sessions and you're good to go. You're like that. So don't worry. Okay? Keep me in loop. Whenever you're saturated, take a break, students, and get back. And if you're struggling to study, let me know. I'll give you some techniques. Okay? एनी मोर डाउट्स ये सब तो यूजुअल है ये सब होता रहेगा डिस्कस जब तक क्लियर नहीं होगा इंडिविजुअली ऑल्सो एनीथिंग एल्स विवान अनुष्का Anushka, worried about anything? I can read your face. फाइन, कल तक कर लो वरी, कोई बात नहीं, कल तक कर लो आप वरी, कल नहीं करोगे आप वरी फिर। ठीक है, चलेगा। हर्ष कुछ और रहेगा बताओ, है ना? 15 है ना हर्ष, 15?
15th में, yes.
ठीक है, चलो। थैंक यू स्टूडेंट्स फॉर बीइंग देयर, एंड या 1530 अनुष्का, रेस्ट एवरीवन विल प्रिपेयर द वे दे आर प्रिपेयरिंग। ऑलराइट, चलो, टेक केयर
Thank you, sir.
स्टूडेंट्स,
Bye bye.
बाय।
Thank
Yes.
you. Bye bye.